Hi there. This video is my first vlog recorded of my SPH4U course, and this video will be talking about the solution of one question. So let's look at the text first. So Matt tosses a set of keys straight up to Sanjit, who catches them from the window 1.1 second later at a height of 14 meters above the point of release. So basically this is a projectile in vertical direction, and it gives us the time and the height above the ground. So the first question is asking us to determine the initial velocity. So the first question is asking us to determine So the first question is asking us to determine the initial velocity of the keys. And while the second question is determine the velocity of the keys when they were caught. So by solving the question, we need to apply GRASB method, which we firstly need to write the things that we know, which we know is the height is 14 meters and the acceleration is 9.81 meters per second squared down, pointing to the ground. And the time taken is 1.1 second. So the question is asking the initial velocity, which we need to apply a formula in order to solve that. So the formula I choose is distance equals to the initial velocity times time plus 1/2 acceleration times time squared. So because we know that what is the distance, which is 14 meters, and we also know the time, which is 1.1 second, and also the acceleration is like the gravitational acceleration. So we can just substitute those data into the formula. So it gives us that 14 equals the initial velocity times 1.1 plus 1/2 times negative 9.81 because it's pointing to the ground, which is negative, and also times 1.1 squared. So after calculation, we can get that the initial velocity is about 18 meters per second. And one thing to notice is that we need to add directions because velocity is a vector, which the final answer is 18 meters per second pointing up. So let's take a look at the second question, which it says determine the velocity of the keys when they are caught. So by solving this question, we only need to apply the value that we calculated from the previous question, which the initial velocity of the motion equals to 18 meters per second. So also by applying the GRASB method, we can gain the acceleration, height, and the initial velocity. And what we need to find is actually the final velocity. So as we know the initial velocity and time and acceleration, the only thing we need to do is to apply the formula of Vf equals V initial plus the acceleration times time. And by substituting the values, we can get a formula that the final velocity actually equals to 18 plus negative 9.81 times 1.1. Actually, the value equals to 7.21 meters per second. So finally, the answer is the velocity when the keys were caught was 7.21 meters per second pointing up. So this question is actually not that hard, and I hope you understand my explanation. Thanks for watching. See you next video. Bye.